Take that link out.
Because there wasn't anything for me to click. You just sent me the key code. You didn't give me a link.
No, it's in the email.
I looked at it.
Sure?
Yeah. It's right here, right? Inbox.
That's fine. Look it. This looks better.
Where's that coming from? It's not.
It's this.
That works. If you can get a hold of me, I'll try to give you the number of stuff for about one.
You want more chairs?
Some of them are gonna.
Okay.
Check 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2.
Far. No, I'm just not close enough. Okay. Thank you for being here. We appreciate everyone making it out to all of these events, and we're so grateful for everyone's support. I do have to remind you all, we have an amazing event tomorrow where we're going to be featuring our students, and they're going to be discussing their origins. So please try and make it out. We're going to be in 316 right over here, the garage doors. That will not be live streamed or Zoomed or anything. So please turn out and support our students tomorrow. I'm super thrilled to welcome our group, but first I have to thank Kara Benedict. She serves on the Global Ed team and has just been an incredible asset to the things that we do here on campus. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Kara.
Thank you. We're very fortunate to have the Many Moccasins here on campus to perform their traditional native dances. So I'm going to pass it off to them to share their background first, and then they'll perform for us.
Hope you can hear me okay. Hijak Hishana Hindi Kadagiwi, Ho-chunk Rajara, Wanik Choga, Naga Maichate Rajara, Blue Saints here Hingaide. Egi Nishoch Eja Hawawaji, Egi Hunchiki Karachija Wawaje, Egi Hambra Pigaja, Egi Many Moccasins Dance Troupe, Pashi Dekshinale. I'd like to greet each and every one of you. What I said in the language is greet each and every one of you. My name is Bluebird. My English name is Blue Saint Cyr. We're from Winnebago, Nebraska. I'm a member of the Bear Clan, and today we have the Many Moccasins Dance Troupe that are going to perform for you today. Today we're going to be presenting an educational performance. So we also have theatrical performances, different venues that we have, and we'll discuss more throughout our performance today. We usually have different openings, and today it's more of a classroom setting. So today we're going to alter our intro, and we're going to provide a short little video. This month is Native American Heritage Month, and obviously there's a lot of history in the founding of this nation that Native people played a role in that. And so with this, we're going to reflect on some of the things that we have with our history and some things that maybe you're unfamiliar with and some things that may be being pushed underneath the rug. But we're going to highlight some of these things just so that our people know of our history of that. So we'll go ahead and turn it over here, and then we'll get into our next portion with our performances. All right, there you have it, folks. That was just some of the highlights of our history. Obviously, there's a lot more. There's also some more present day. Those are some of the highlights that we had different members of the dance troupe who also kind of wanted to highlight some of those and just going to be a little more real about some of the history that our people went through and continue to go through. But today we're going to journey through our culture through dance. And so when we demonstrate these dances, we're going to talk about their origin stories. And also maybe we're going to talk a little bit about the language and even some of the backgrounds of the dancers, their tribes, and even the regalia that they wear. See, our indigenous people, we have clothing that we have. Although it has evolved and changed over time, the symbolism behind each regalia that you're going to see here today still has a lot of the meaning behind it. The leather that you used to see, we still have that today. However, all these different fabrics, these beads, these fringes have been introduced to our people, and so we utilize these as well into our culture. For example, the French came overseas, came down through Canada, and our people traded the beads with our people. And so today we utilize the beads that are on our regalia. So you'll see the unique designs that they have. They're going to reflect back to the tribal nations that they belong to. And so we're going to go into our first dance here, and we're going to talk about the dance troupe as we go along. But we're going to bring out our first dancers here, and this is a dance that is originated along this area. There are tribes in this state that we call today Nebraska, which is Nebraska is a indigenous word, by the way, if you didn't know that. But there are federally recognized tribes. How many tribes do you think there are in Nebraska? 4, correct. The Ponca, the Winnebago, the Santee Sioux, and the Omaha people. This dance here is the Omaha dance called the grass dance, and our dancers here are you'll see them wear different fringes on their regalia. And that's, again, to represent the prairie grass that is on the field, on the land there. They're going to represent the swaying that the grass dancers do. The Omaha people have a society that they said that this belongs to, the Herushka Society, which is a warrior society. However, as time went on, a lot of the fringes that I was talking about have changed to what you see here today. We have different dancers here. They're going to be dancing their own styles. We have different age groups. We have an adult, a teenager, a child, and a toddler. So he's going to dance. He's anxious out there. You probably heard him out there, so he's ready to go. So we're going to start that with the grass dance. That grass. Okay. Yep. All right. We'll give them a proper introduction at the conclusion of performance, but this is our grass dancers, ladies and gentlemen. So, a little more about our dance troupe. We are called the Many Moccasins Dance Troupe. Many as in M-A-N-Y, not mini, but many. And reason why we call it Many Moccasins is because we have dancers that, we have about 30 dancers in our dance troupe, and they live in different areas and different tribes. And so with that diversity within our dance troupe, we have different tribes, different nations, and so each tribe has a unique style of moccasin. And so we have my moccasins here, my Air Force One moccasins. No, I'm just kidding. But each tribe, so if you get a chance, maybe you'll see their moccasins that are a little different here and there. And that represents the diversity in our dance troupe. Many tribes, many nations, the Many Moccasins Dance Troupe. We were founded in 2001. We were based out of Winnebago, Nebraska, on the Winnebago Indian Reservation. And we've traveled across the state. We've been in Lincoln many times. Also, we've been as far west as going all the way out to California. In 2011, we performed in the Rose Bowl Parade, and we had a huge float that was one of our dancers made out of flowers, seeds, stems, things like that, was going through the parade. 5 miles that we had to dance through. Furthermore, we went far as east in the United States. We went down to Miami, Florida, and performed at the Hard Rock Cafe. So if you've seen that, that's a huge guitar. That's a hotel. We performed down there. We've been internationally. We've been over to Denmark. We've been over to Germany. We've been to South Korea. We've been to Russia. We've also been to Saudi Arabia, which is our last trip that we came back from. So today primarily is our family. All of these members that you see here today, we're all family. But again, we have a wide range of dancers that accompany us, and that we usually bring bigger troops or smaller troops depending on the venue. So we'll talk a little more. I want to bring out our next dancers, which is our jingle dress dancers. And this dance is said to belong to the Ojibwe. The Ojibwe, and this origin story, that there was a young woman that was sick in the village, and her father had a dream. And in his dream, the ancestors came to him and told him to make this beautiful dress that you see before you. And this dress is supposed to help heal her and help heal the sick. And today, this dance is considered a healing dance in reflection of that dream. The unique cones that you see on their dress, those, can anyone guess what those are? Actually, let's take a guess. Any idea? Okay. Yeah, these are jingles. They're not bells, but they're jingles. These are actually the tin lids of snuff can lids, and they're curled. And people often chuckle or are wondering why that is, and it's because of the tobacco that accompanies those lids. And the tobacco to our people is a very sacred item that we use in ceremony and in prayer. And we use that to connect to the Creator in our different ceremonies in different ways. And so in reflection of the sacredness of this dance, these cones are worn on their dress to help heal the sick. And so you see the dancers have their hands on their hips, and that is to symbolize the pain that the sick are going through, maybe trying to get up and be healthy and so forth. You'll see them dance as well. They're going to dance zigzagging different ways, and that's to represent the zigzagging in life that we have. We have our ups and we have our downs, but we're going to continue to move forward as we dance and go through life. Also, I want to highlight one quick thing, and then we'll have them exhibition here. You'll see the feathers that they have, and that is one thing that indigenous people have the right to own and possess is eagle feathers. It's actually against the law for any others to possess eagle parts, including the feathers. And how we do that is we provide an identification card that we're enrolled in a federally recognized tribe. So we have to keep these cards to prove that we're Native American. On those cards, it proves our blood. So we are half Winnebago, a quarter of this, quarter of that. No other race really has to record that besides indigenous people. And so that card proves that who we are. Same thing, if you think about it, the only other things that have to do that are dogs and horses. Prove if they're full blood or not. Indigenous people also have to prove that. These feathers here are eagle feathers, the bald eagle, and also the golden eagle. This is the jingle dress dance.
Bring
Ladies and gentlemen, the Jingle Dress Dance. One thing I also wanted to point out is that the eagle as well, we hold the eagle very sacred to our culture. A lot of indigenous people do. And that is because we believe that the eagle is the messenger to our prayers, carries the prayers up to the Creator. And so we believe that the eagle is the highest flying bird that flies so high in connection to the Creator. So in reference, that's the reason, one of the reasons why we have them on our highest part of our bodies, which is on our head. So you'll see why indigenous people, when we have them on their head in reflection of the eagle. So again, that is, you'll see a lot of our dancers have those on either eagle plumes or feathers. So I mentioned about the tribes. Now there was 4 federally recognized tribes. How many of you guys can guess are in the country we call United States today? How many federally recognized tribes do you think there are? Any guesses? I heard that. Almost 600, yeah. About, give or take, 570 plus tribes. That fluctuates because there's tribes that either gain their sovereignty or either lose their sovereignty. And so some are still fighting for federal recognition. But for that, the government honors a tribe if they have members, if they have a history, and they have to have a language. So with that, I also serve as the language director for our program in Winnebago, the Winnebago, our whole chunk language. And today I wanted to share a word with you. We're going to teach you some language. So we're going to actually, my mother is going to be our next dancer, and she's a member of the Ogallala tribe. So the Sioux, Lakota Sioux. And I'm going to use the Lakota language this morning. So, this afternoon actually. So let's use the word cola. Can you say that word? Let's say it again. Cola. All right. How about let's try how? How? Now let's put those together. How cola? How cola? So cola means friend, and how means hello. Hello, friend. How cola? Good. So if friend is cola, what do you think you would call maybe a skinny friend? Diet cola. That's a good way to remember that word. So that actually means friend, cola. So I want to invite up our next dancer. This dancer here is the co-founder of the dance troupe. I have the privilege of calling her mother. She's also the grandmother of our dance troupe. And she is also the one who made all the regalia that you see here today. And so she's also She's also a retired medical technologist, so she's been enjoying retirement, and so she's been traveling. Actually, we're heading to Chicago after this, so she's enjoying that. The regalia that you see here is the Lakota, women's Lakota traditional dress. And this dress here is made of buckskin. You see the unique designs that are also on this dress. The beadwork represents the Plains tribes, geometric designs you'll see. And each of those designs tell a story or a meaning behind that. And usually you'll see the dancer have a fan or even something they'll hold as a shawl or maybe even something they would have such as a purse. Now you'll see the shawl that she has on her left arm there. That is actually a chief blanket. And only the chiefs are allowed to possess this unique design. And so my mother here is a descendant of the chiefs of Chief Red Cloud and Chief White Cow Killer, or Chief Kills White Buffalo. And so she earns that right to have and possess that unique design, and that's something there that not everyone can possess. So it's kind of something very rare and unique with her and her lineage. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the traditional dance. It's a very graceful dance. And so again, the connection to Mother Earth, the feet stay close to the ground. Traditional.
So
you have it, folks. All right. One thing I also wanted to highlight is that you probably are listening to the music, which is very unique and very different. A lot of singers chanting, singing together in harmony. Usually there's maybe up to about 10 men that are around the drum, a huge drum. And unfortunately, we didn't get to bring our singers here today, but we have our speakers that are doing a good job there for us. But yeah, they sing together. They usually tell stories, war stories, or maybe telling the dancers to dance harder, things that are interpreted in the language. So some of them are very old. Some of them, maybe tell a battle. There's even a song that talks about a battle, and they'll hit the drum very hard that represents the cannons that are being shot at them. So there's different songs like that. There's singers that compete amongst each other, and then there are different songs like that. But today, we'll be dancing to that, and we're also going to be sharing some contemporary Native American music. So just like I mentioned, that our people have evolved as well, and so we get into the piano and guitars and things like that too. So we'll show some of that later on. Our next dancers I want to bring out is going to be, actually one of our dancers is going to be our fancy shawl dancer. And our fancy shawl dancer comes from the traditional dance that you just witnessed, and has evolved to actually wearing the shawl. And a lot of our young women now perform this dance where they open up the shawl and they'll dance with it. And some of the stories of different tribes, they believe that it represents the butterfly and mimics the butterfly's movements. And so you'll see the shawl do that, such as the butterfly. And the butterfly, again, is, we know that kind of how the lifespan of a butterfly. It starts as a caterpillar and makes its way through a cocoon, and it has to fight out of that cocoon, the hardships that it has to go through to get out, and eventually make its way out with wings. The butterfly is a very courageous being because a butterfly can go through battle, and be undetected. Maybe there's arrows, maybe there's cannons that are being fighting back and forth. But the butterfly is very courageous that will make his way all the way through that and fly right through danger. In some tribes, it is also believed that you could tell a butterfly a secret. A butterfly maybe will land on you, and maybe you need advice, or maybe you need someone to talk to and trust. And you could tell that butterfly something. And it will take your story or take your secret, take whatever you are dealing with, someone to talk to, and it will take it. It will not tell anyone, because a butterfly does not make any noise. So it's a trustworthy as well-being. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our fancy shawl dancers. You'll see it's a little more faster pace. So here we go with our fancy shawl. Our fancy shawl dancer. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's Native American Heritage Month, and I kind of mentioned some things. And one of the things I also wanted to highlight is I kind of mentioned on it about the state of Nebraska. Nebraska actually means flat water, I believe, in the Oto language. There's also the Iowa, our neighboring, the Hawkeyes. Now, Iowa is a tribe. Kansas is a tribe. Missouri is a tribe. Minnesota means about the water is a Dakota word. Also, the Dakotas are a tribe. So all of these states that are around us, they actually come from indigenous people or indigenous languages. So maybe that's something that maybe you do not know, but there's a lot more other tribes as well, or states, however, that also come from maybe indigenous words or different tribes. So I just wanted to share that as well. And again, we are the Many Moccasins Dance Troupe, and again, we've, like I said, traveled across the country, across the world, and we always like to educate our audience. And sometimes, as indigenous people, we are stuck with stereotypes. And many other different cultures as well have stereotypes. One of the ones that we always face is alcoholism. But there's all different cultures across the world that deal with alcoholism as well. So we're just singled out on that maybe because it was really highlighted at a certain reservation. We do have historical trauma that is still occurring within our indigenous nations, but we're still trying to overcome a lot of that. There's a lot of obstacles that we're still facing today. One of them is that a lot of our indigenous women are going missing or being murdered, and no one knows. There's a count on that. There's no data on that. There's so many of them. We actually have 3 on our reservation that have died, either have been murdered, and even males as well have been murdered, and it's just been swept underneath the rug. So that's something with the BIA, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, the government. So that's something that one of our obstacles that we're currently dealing with today. And it was actually, I believe, President Trump that highlighted that back in his administration. So that's something that we continue to deal with. I want to bring out our next dancer. This one here is going to be of the Ponca origin. Ponca are actually one of the tribes that originate amongst this area that we call Nebraska today. And the Ponca have been divided into 2 nations today. So there's a Ponca Nation of Oklahoma, which they tried to move all Indians to Indian territory. And also the Ponca are still residing here in northern Ponca and Ponca tribe of Nebraska. So this tribe here, again, from this area, you'll see the unique bustles that he has. Those are all eagle feathers. You'll see the dancer, use those. You'll see the shoulders as well have different feathers. On his sticks, you'll see feathers. And also on his shins there, you'll see the angora or the fur. And that's to honor our brotherhood with the 4-legged that we utilize to make a living. To eat, to make shelter, to make clothing. So to kind of give that honor to that, and also you see, again, the unique fringes that we have adopted into our culture there. Can anyone guess what that is on top of his head? What animal? It's an animal. The unique headdress. Porcupine, I've heard it. Porcupine hair. So it's a porcupine hair, and the maroon that you see there is actually deer tail hair. So it's dyed red. So it's deer and porcupine woven together to make the headdress. So that's unique. This dance as well is probably the most fast-paced dance that you're going to see. So if you have a seatbelt, you better put it on. If not, hang on. No, the fancy dance, ladies and gentlemen. there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, Armin's Fancy Feather Dance. All right, folks. Like I said, we have also a theatrical performance. So we have a lot more of those dancers that will also dance. We have a lot of our props that we have. We have a dance called our Shield and Spear. In the video you've seen, we have a huge one with butterfly wings. We do a lot of different theatrical. We tell a story, and so we also have that we do as well. So you can find us on YouTube. So if you type in Many Moccasins, you'll see some of our pictures and videos there. Also our Facebook. So and a lot of the younger ones are getting older now, but when they were younger, they wanted me to tell everyone to like us. Tell them to like us on Facebook. So they're a little older now, but yeah, so we have a Facebook. Look us up there. We'll be traveling around. We share pictures. We promote a lot of good things and stuff. So find us there for more of our details and events and so forth. On our next dance, I want to take a moment to acknowledge this dance is a dance that is a storytelling dance. And when I say that, is the dancers will tell a story with the objects that they have. And a long time ago, this dance is said to originate down in the Southwest. And it was a medicine dance done by medicine men. And it's a dance that was done in private. And not many people were really too observant of this, especially the children. The children were not allowed to attend this because of the power that it had telling the story. And it would take all of the medicines of these formations that they're going to make, that it would take the medicines of those and help heal whoever may be sick. So a long time ago, they would call upon a lot of the older ones, the adults, the elders, and come in private, and they would have maybe the sick people out in the kind of the front here, and they would perform this dance called the hoop dance. And the hoop dance, there was 5 hoops that the medicine man had, and 4 of them represented the 4 directions, represented the 4 seasons, and they say the 4 sacred colors, which are red, black, white, and yellow. So those 4 they would dance with, but they also had the 5th hoop that came along, which represents the creator who connected all 4. And so with that dance, they made, the medicine man made these formations. He made a bird, he made a flower, he made different things. And all the medicines of these things came together to help heal. And so at one time, because this dance is done in private, there was children. Obviously, you know how some of you may have children or grandchildren, how they're curious they are. And we had a little guy here just kind of looking and peeking in too, so you know how they are. But they were up in the trees. They were watching this taking place. And they were all of them and giggling around and watching and what was going on, And so what happens is that they climbed down the tree and they took off and they went down by the creek. And pretty soon they went and made hoops and grabbed branches and started trying to make these hoops that medicine man had. And pretty soon they start making more and more, and then they start putting them all in a big pile, and pretty soon they had a big pile of them. And so what they were doing, they started to mimic what that medicine man was doing. They were putting on all these different hoops, and maybe they were adding more. They were adding 10, or they were putting more here and there. And they started having a lot more. Pretty soon, after the ceremony was done in the village with all the adults and the medicine men, it was done. They wondered where all the kids were. All the kids were gone. And so they went to go out and look for them, and they found them by the creek, and they were doing a lot of these different formations with a lot more. And so it was then they said that now it was a point where women and children are now allowed to do this dance as well. So our children are very sacred as well as our women. Women are givers of life. And so this as well is another way to help heal people. So this dance here, I'll have our 2 young dancers. I'll have them come out here. They're going to perform the hoop dance for you. It's not the hula hoop. The hula hoop is something from Hawaii or overseas maybe, but this is the hoop. It's done with the sacred symbol of a circle. And there's no beginning and there's no end in the circle. And so they're going to perform this dance. They're going to tell a story. And they're going to do their own interpretation of this. And they're up-and-coming learners. And so I myself, as their uncle, have taught them this. I used to do this dance when I was maybe a lot more younger, 10 years ago. But I used to dance up to 30 hoops at one time. And so we're getting there. Now I think they're getting ready to move on to the next 5. So, but they're still learning, and so we want to encourage them. Once they make a formation, it is appropriate if you want to applaud the energy that you give them. They'll go into the next formation. They'll give it right back. And so it's something that we again are encouraged to encourage them on as well. The song that you're going to hear, I talked about contemporary Native American music. This is what you're going to hear. We're going to dance to that because the young ones are up and coming next generation. Also, our music, the modern music is new to our culture. So we're going to put them together and they're going to dance to more modern Native American dance music. So here it is with the hoop dance. All right, there's our hoop dancers. Awesome job. All right, I want to invite out all our dancers to come on out here. I'm going to give them just a proper introduction of who they are and their background, and then we'll kind of conclude our performance here today. So just to give them the acknowledgement for them for performing for you today. And again, like I said, you can find us a lot on our social media, and we appreciate the college here for having us again. This is our second time returning here. Down on our end there, coming through the doorway, we have Mr. Garen Coons. He represents the Ogallala and Navajo nations. To the left there, your right, is his son, Garen Coons Jr. He's also a member of the Omaha, Navajo, and Lakota tribes. Next, we have Ariana Dominguez of the Chicanju Lakota tribes. Next, we have Mercedes Dominguez with ACE, and she represents the Chicanju Lakota tribes. Those three right there. Next, we have Marissa Dominguez. Those three are sisters. She is of the Chicanju Lakota tribe. Next, we have a member of the Omaha and Winnebago tribe. This is Kaylee St. Cyr, our group dancer. Right there, her brother, we have a member of the Omaha and Winnebago tribes. This is Jerrison St. Cyr. Next, we have their grandmother, which is our founder, is also the matriarch of our family, Ms. Teresa St. Cyr of the Ogallala Nation. Next, we have my brother here, Gentry St. Cyr of the Winnebago and Ogallala Nations. And this guy here, he loves to dance. This is Lathan St. Cyr. He's of the Omaha and Winnebago Lakota tribes. All right, folks. That kind of concludes our performance. We would like to thank you again for joining us. I hope you learned something today and maybe share that with a neighbor. Again, there's a lot of different stereotypes, and I'm hoping that we kind of minimize those and again, that's inviting us to your home. One thing I wanted to leave with, if you are able, can you please rise for me? One of the things we have to also leave with is that, as if you can also put your hand on your heart. You should feel a heartbeat there. If you don't, let me know. We'll get you some help. But a heartbeat, that same heartbeat we all have, no matter what background we come from. We're all from the same place, which is Mother Earth. And so we all bleed the same color. And so we're all of the same race, which is the human race, which is the same heartbeat we all have inside here. Now, on a count of three, if you are able, I would like for you to make a complete circle around yourself like so, on a count of three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. I don't know if you felt that, but I know I felt that. Now you can say, the Many Moccasins Dance Troupe touched my heart and turned my life around. Have a good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.